Somehow this show has managed to top the prior episode each and every week, and it just continues to get better, and I don't know how the finale can top what we've seen so far.
All I'm saying is that I met the directors of the greatest Marvel show ever, and they complimented my outfit, so I think I'm winning.
What's going on, guys? I'm Chris. Welcome back to another video. Hawkeye Episode 5 spoiler review and breakdown. Joined by Cam. You know the drill. Hit that like button, comment your thoughts on the episode down below, subscribe, notification bell. Spoilers for Episode 5 in 3, 2, 1. Cam, is this the best episode of the show?
Yeah, I mean, I say that every week, though.
I know,
I
say
getting
yeah.
better. And next week's going to be even better, because we're going to have a certain somebody in the flesh, and all of these characters are going to cultivate into one at a Christmas party.
I think we need to talk about how fantastic the opening of this was. We had a cold open.
Amazing.
With Yelena, and she's like
2018.
Investigating. It's 2018.
She's getting all the widows. She's snapping them all out of their trance.
Which is what she was going to do after Black Widow, the movie, right? Mm-hmm. And then she goes to the bathroom to like splash some water in her face.
And this is we see her blip, and this is like the first time that we get a blip from a person's perspective that blipped.
Yeah.
It literally is like in and out.
So good.
Crazy.
It was insane. And then she like was in the same exact house. And then she's like, I got to find Natasha. And then it cuts to black because you're like, oh, Natasha's dead.
Yeah.
Really sad moment. But there's a lot of Yelena in this episode.
Then we get kind of a sweet moment with Kate and her mom. Honestly, it was a really nice moment. Kate finally sort of tells Eleanor, like, dude, listen, we found some stuff on Jack. Jack is hella sus. Mm-hmm. Like, please just at least look into it for me. And the mom's like, okay, I will. And then Kate goes back to her apartment, her burnt to a crisp apartment, to get some stuff because she's going to move back home. And lo and behold, Yelena's there. And oh my god, I've never been so happy to see two Marvel characters interact with each other.
I loved their interaction.
Kate Bishop.
Kate Bishop.
I love all of it. Her saying Kate Bishop, Kate being like, are you saying my full name to prove that you know my full name? And she's like, I know a lot about you, Kate Bishop.
The macaroni, yeah. The mention of her father saying eating is good, being a Red Guardian.
So funny.
Yelena, yeah, she's taking the show to another level.
She's like, if I wanted to kill you, I would have.
Kate and Yelena need their own show already.
Oh, 1,000,000%.
I hope we get that announced like after next week.
Imagine
we'll see.
A perfect world where Bucky Barnes, Sam Wilson, Kate Bishop, and Yelena all interact together. Imagine that kind of a conversation.
The world may never know.
Basically, Yelena and Kate are talking. They're talking about kind of whatever, doesn't really matter, up until Yelena's like, so what's your deal? Why do you defend Clint Barton? And Kate's like, well, Clint's a hero. Clint's an Avenger. Clint saved the world. And Yelena says this line that gave me chills. She's like, my sister saved the world. Natasha Romanoff saved the world. Which is like, true.
Also, like, what weight does the word Avenger even really hold?
Yeah, she was like, what does that word even mean?
Yeah. There was a lot of great questions posed throughout this episode. We need more Yelena-Kate interactions ASAP, because that was like the highlight of the episode almost.
We get a really nice moment with Clint at the Battle of New York Memorial, and he's like talking to Natasha like he would be talking to her at her grave, and it's a very moving scene. It made me cry, which is interesting because I really don't have a personal connection to Clint or Natasha.
I like how he mentions how she's so brave and stubborn. He said you're the bravest of us all.
It makes me sad because I was like, that's the only place he can go to talk to her because he doesn't know where Natasha's grave is. Yeah. I think that we're going to see him there by the end of the episode.
I hope so.
Not the episode, the show.
With Yelena, maybe, honestly. We'll
Probably.
See if they
make up.
If they make up, yeah. We get a scene that could be the final interaction between Clint and his family as he calls his wife up, and the kids just went to sleep. They're kind of talking, and he's like, I got to take care of some things, yada, yada, yada. And it ends with an I love you, which is never a good thing.
I literally... So the way that this scene is shot for some reason, he's talking on the phone with her, and then the scene cuts to him like standing at his locker, and so you think the conversation between them is done. So when the scene cuts, I'm like, oh no, that wasn't their last conversation because they didn't say I love you to each other. And then the conversation on the phone keeps going, and then they say I love you, and I was like, damn.
Yeah. It could be the end of Clint, but we'll have to see.
Or the end of Clint's family.
Yeah, which would be even more brutal.
That was his whole concern. He was like, you guys
big guy, yeah.
could be in trouble. Jack gets arrested.
Jack does, yeah. Eleanor actually took Kate's advice and looked into Jack. So we think, until we find out later in the episode. And this all leads into Clint actually donning the Ronin suit. And the name of the episode is Ronin, so that was fitting. And he goes and meets up with Echo. And they have a little nighttime showdown in a parking lot where Clint takes out a bunch of the tracksuits. And then he has a pretty epic fight with Echo.
Yeah.
Well choreographed, the score was chilling, and they have this moment where Clint is standing over her. He takes off his mask, and he's obviously revealed to be Ronan.
He kind of threatens her. He's like, I want you to see my face, because if you ever go after me or my family, it will be the last thing you do.
Yeah.
And then he told her, he was like, that night that I killed your dad, like, I was tipped off by somebody. And she was like, who? And he was like, I was tipped off by your boss.
Mm-hmm. Like, your boss wanted your dad dead.
Like the big guy.
Yeah. After that, there's a little quick scene with Echo and Kazi where Kazi might actually have been in on it as well.
Yeah, something's up with Kazi.
Yeah. So the whole Echo storyline is starting to get heating up right before the finale, kind of going to lead directly into her own show, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
We might see some layover with Kate and Yelena in that as well. Only time will tell. Then there's a really funny joke. Clint is like, you have a backup plan to get out of here, Kate? And they walk up to a car, and this Uber guy goes, Tabitha? It was just so off-putting and funny.
So Kate and Clint go back to...
the firefighter, the LARPer.
But Kate gets a text from Yelena. We see Yelena following Eleanor. So at first, your instinct reaction is like, oh God, what's she going to do to Eleanor?
Mm-hmm.
And then Kate gets a text, and it's like, Kate Bishop, I know who hired me to kill Clint. And she goes, Eleanor Bishop. And then she sends Kate a picture.
Mm-hmm.
And then Kate shows it to Clint, and she's like, who's that with my mom? And Clint's like, that's the guy we've been worried about. And it's Kingpin.
Yeah, it was crazy. He's wearing a white suit. I am on the 5th episode of Daredevil, so longtime Daredevil fans, that means more to them. It was still cool, though. And he's going to be the big bad and moving into the finale.
He looks exactly like he did in the show.
Eleanor is very shady, and I'm very intrigued to see if Jack is actually clean or not, if
I think Eleanor
Eleanor's
set him
motives
up.
are. Yeah, so...
She definitely set him up.
It's funny, we've rolled the tape. I remember originally I said Eleanor was sketch, and then I doubled back on myself because I was like, oh, that's so stupid. But she's going to end up being a bad guy.
Well, the thing is that the show is definitely setting us up to think that she
Who knows?
wasn't.
This is the best episode. It had, again, the emotions, the action, the comedy. It's the holiday season. The Grinch music plays at the end, which was a perfect way to end it, especially after showing Kingpin.
So good. It's interesting that Yelena is saying that Kate Bishop hired her to kill Clint, because...
where's Val?
I was under the impression that was Valentina, so...
We gotta see Val at some point. Also, there's been no post-credit scenes yet, and we're moving on to the last episode, so that's kind of interesting. This next episode, we're gonna get the Christmas party where they're in their suits. It's gonna look
I want to
so
see
good.
all of these characters come to a head.
Yeah. It needs to be like an hour-long episode, in my opinion.
It needs to be more than an hour.
Yeah, so maybe an hour 10, hour 15, hour 20, hour 45. Make it a film. Why not? Release it in theaters. Compete with No Way Home at the box office. But this is the best episode again. I say that every week because this is improving just like a movie. And I can't wait to watch this all in one sitting once we have seen the entire show. It's going to be awesome. But that's going to do it for our review. Spoiler breakdown of Hawkeye episode 5. Make sure to check out our watch party for our reaction to some of these crazy moments from the episode, as well as our upcoming watch party for episode 6 and our spoiler review for that. The finale is right around the corner. I'll be ranking all the episodes as well, maybe joined by Cam, maybe not, as well as ranking all the Marvel Disney Plus shows. So that's be fun. No Way Home is about to come out. We're going to have tons of videos talking about that, so make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell. All of Cam's stuff is linked down below. Subscribe, follow, all that good stuff. And until next time, see you guys later.
I can't believe that I'm really getting Kingpin and Daredevil back within the same week.
Fingers crossed Daredevil shows up in No Way Home.
He is. I know it in my bones.
We'll see.